Job 37:21 is the corner where you can find it. It's the Lord speaks to Job in 38 because Job was complaining and really upset because all his children passed away and all his animals were killed and he lost a lot of things. He was also going through a lot of autoimmune diseases and he was just really miserable, and so he went to the desert. Two of his friends came to talk to him and comfort him, but they were kind of giving him the wrong advice and was assuming that he deserved what God was giving him as far as a punishment, because earlier in the story, Downer went up to God up in heaven and said, well, if I do this to him, which is strike all that he has and take all that away, then he'll yeah, he'll Job's first test. One day, Downer and the angels, the Lord said to Downer, what are you doing and where you come from? And he said he's roaming around earth, probably back and forth, probably looking for somebody to torture. But then the Lord said to him, Job is a really cool guy. And so, yeah, he said, but um, Downer said, yeah, but if you stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face. So anyway, the Lord speaks after all the complaining, and the two friends start talking. It was a really long debates. Finally, he wanted to talk to God when he was sitting in the middle of a desert, and throughout a storm, the Lord spoke to him. Who is this that darkens my counsel with words without knowledge? Brace yourself like a man, I will question you, and you shall answer me. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me if you understand. Who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. Who stretched a a measuring line across it? Who, on what were its footings, and who laid its cornerstone, while the morning stars sang together, and all the angels shouted for joy. So he's questioning about all these miraculous things that nobody can answer because he was complaining. So God is asking him, you don't know better than him, or you don't know what he's doing. What is the way to the place where the lightning is dispersed, or the place where the east winds are scattered over the earth? The Lord spoke to Job again. Will the one who contends with the Almighty correct him? Let him who accuses God answer him. And Job said, I am unworthy. How can I reply to you? I put my hand over my mouth. I spoke once, but I have no answer. Twice, but I will say no more. Then the Lord spoke to Job out of the storm. Brace yourself like a man. I will question you. You shall answer me. And he says all these things that he's done, all these wonders that nobody else has questions to. And so then he says, he's saying about all the things he does. He, meaning God, he makes the depths churn like a boiling cauldron, and stirs up the sea like a pot of ointment. Behind him he leaves a listening wake. One would think the deep had white hair. Nothing on earth is his equal, a creature without fear. He looks down on all that are haughty. He is king over all that are proud. So then, after, they had their conversation, after the Lord had said these things to Job, he said to, this is one of his friends' names. I don't know how to spell that. And another one of his friends' name. I don't know how to spell that either. I am angry with you and your two friends because you have not spoken of me what is right, as my servant Job has. So now my servant Job will pray for you, and I will accept his prayer and not deal with you according to your folly. Then Job was blessed over again with more children and ox and camels, and he lived a really long time, 4 generations. He got to see the grandchildren to the 4th generation. So he died old and full of years and happy because God restored his life again. Job recap. 1. God is mysterious. Job 38:2 through 41:31. He explains all the things he's done and nobody can explain or have the answers to. 2. Nothing is as it seems. Don't assume. Job 42:7. When he's telling the friends they don't know what they're talking about. There is no deal with Downer, the evil one, that can ever work on God's children. Genesis 9:13 says, I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth, meaning God's covenant with humanity and the natural world.